Here's the list of terrible movies with amazing soundtracks. If you tell me you actually like any one of these movies, I'm going to call you a liar. For one, City of Angels. You know that moment in the movie Twilight where Bella wakes up and Edward's just like standing there looming at her from the corner of her room, and she realizes that he sneaks into her room at night to stare at her? What if that moment was an entire movie? Except he's not a vampire, he's an angel. She never actually sees him, and then it ends real sad. That's City of Angels. But the Goo Goo Dolls, Alanis Morissette, Sarah McLachlan, like, it had a chokehold. Number 2, Cruel Intentions. Nobody likes this movie. Nobody actually likes this movie. This is not a good movie. This is a cult classic, I think, because of some of the one-liners that are fun to say. But, like, it's a bad movie. Like, Placebo, Blur, Fatboy Slim, and especially The Verve. Oh my god, this soundtrack is pure gold. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. While these did give a lot of boys a sexual awakening in the 90s, these are not excellent movies. However, their soundtracks had straight up bangers. Honestly, the inclusion of Foolish Games probably made Jules' entire career. Reality Bites. I've never met a human being that has ever actually seen this movie and enjoyed it. It is a waste of some incredibly talented people. Or maybe it's a case of people who became very talented, just much younger in their careers when they weren't great yet. But like, this was Lenny Kravitz, U2 before they were insufferable, and let's not forget Lisa Loeb. I'm pretty sure this was the birthplace of the song Stay, which like to this day is a bop. If you are one of my personal friends, stop watching this video now, because the movie Empire Records is hot garbage. I have been to an Empire Records party by very dear friends of mine who are trying to convince me that this is a great movie. This is a bad movie. It's a bad movie. It's not good. It's a bad movie, but the soundtrack's great. Soundtrack's a good time. I would put the soundtrack on anytime. It's a great time. Bad movie though. Terrible. Garden State. I've literally never met anybody who's actually seen Garden State, but I've met a lot of people who love the Garden State soundtrack. And not even Faith Hill could stop Armageddon from being a bad movie, because this harkens back to a time before we realized that all of Michael Bay's movies are just kind of fluff with no substance whatsoever. Rounding out the list is whatever this mess was. The 50 Shades is fan fiction of Twilight. They're both bad movies. Yeah, both bad movies. I couldn't mention Twilight at the top and then not bring it back home. Bad movies. Terrible movies. Utterly unhinged. That get worse like the more you watch them. These movies aged like milk before they ever left the theater. Shockingly good soundtracks though. Probably because bands knew that people were going to buy the soundtrack, so they were willing to be on it, but like, bad movies. If you would like to provide a defense of any of these movies, or if you have another example of a bad movie with a great soundtrack, let me know in the comments. Thank you. Goodbye.